After a 6-month business trip overseas, I returned home to discover that my fiancée was already married and about to give birth. To celebrate her pregnancy, she had thrown a lavish baby shower, attracting the who's who of our social circle. Everyone was gushing about how perfect a match Miss Liu of the Liu Group and the eldest young master of the Chi family were, a picture of love and happiness. I looked in confusion at the party being held in my own villa. As I approached the entrance, I was rudely blocked by the security. Today is a special day for our young master. No riffraff allowed. The man, who was even wearing my suit, sneered at me. This is the young master's domain, not a place for strays like you. What a nuisance. Get rid of him. I stood outside, my brows furrowed in disbelief. He's the eldest young master of the Chi family? Then who am I? I glanced at the departing figure of the arrogant impostor, then back at the gilded words, Chi family villa, above the gate. I was certain I hadn't gotten the wrong house. The stone lions guarding the entrance were ones I had personally shipped from overseas. Yet, I didn't recognize a single one of the burly security guards standing watch. My assistant, Zhao, immediately stepped forward, shielding me and rebuking them. What nonsense are you spouting? Our Mr. Chi is the real eldest young master of the Chi family. Now step aside. To my surprise, they burst into mocking laughter. Oh, look, the imposter is still at it. Even after being exposed by our young master, he's still not giving up. Take a good look at yourself. No invitation, no entry. Dare to cause trouble, and don't blame us for getting rough. Just then, cheers erupted from inside the villa. I looked up to see my fiancée, Liu Yuqian, her pregnant belly prominent, then tiptoeing to plant a coy kiss on that man. Her eyes were filled with burning affection as she declared, "Darling, you're so amazing. To be able to carry your child is the greatest fortune of my life." Wow, Miss Liu is such a doting wife, so in love with young Master Chi. They'll be a happy family of 3, a true model of success. Oh, I believe in love again. The surroundings were filled with applause and blessings. I bit my lip, struggling to suppress the surge of anger. I didn't know this usurper, Chi Bowen, but Liu Yuqian was my fiancée. We had gotten engaged 6 months ago. I was sent on an overseas business trip to negotiate a project, and she had seen me off at the airport. Even now, I could recall her tender promise. Chi, when you return, I'll be waiting to marry you in my wedding dress. But in the blink of an eye, she had married another and was carrying his child. She had betrayed me long ago, and even condoned someone else impersonating me. It was utterly preposterous. Do you see now? That's the real eldest young master of the Chi family. You're nothing but a fake. Still standing there? Don't blame us for getting physical. The security guards brandished their electric batons, waving them menacingly. Zhao, unable to contain his anger, was about to argue further, but I stopped him. Back in the car, his eyes were red with fury. Young master, they're going too far. That's your home, and that man is a fraud. And Miss Liu, how could she do this to you, carrying someone else's child? You were childhood sweethearts. Indeed, the audacity of that man to impersonate me was outrageous. But the fact that he hadn't been exposed, and Liu Yuqian's involvement, raised serious questions. We had been together for years. There was no possibility of mistaken identity or deception. How much had the Liu family been involved in this charade? Looking at the still fuming Zhao, I smiled. Don't worry, I'm not one to be taken advantage of so easily. I immediately issued an order from within the company, canceling the upcoming project with the Liu family. Recently, Uncle Liu had made an international call to my father. After some pleasantries, he expressed interest in our company's AI project and proposed a collaboration. My father, valuing their long-standing friendship and the in-law relationship, readily agreed. The contract was to be signed tomorrow, but this incident had thrown a wrench into everything. As the heir to the Chi group, I possessed the highest internal authority. Terminating the collaboration was a matter of minutes. Soon, the operations department confirmed the cancellation of the previously drafted contract. I heard that the Liu family has been facing constant product recalls and significant financial losses. They took out a massive bank loan for this project. Now that the collaboration is canceled, they might not even be able to cover the losses with bankruptcy. Zhao's eyes widened in astonishment. I smiled faintly. saying nothing. Half an hour later, a freshly printed invitation arrived. Let's go meet them. I also sent emails to several foreign companies we collaborated with, inviting them to the villa to discuss business. My identity, Chi Yi, the eldest young master of the Chi family, was not so easily usurped. With the invitation in hand, the security guards at the gate, no matter how reluctant, had to let us in. As soon as I stepped inside, I nearly blacked out. The vintage masterpieces on the walls had been replaced with tacky, snake spirit-esque selfie close-ups of that imposter, Ning Bowen. The multi-million-dollar crystal chandelier had been swapped out for cheap, influencer-style mood lighting. My specially built collection room had been turned into a smoke-filled mahjong parlor. Who allowed you in here? Someone throw this shameless dog out. Inside the hall, Ning Bowen was basking in the praise and flattery of the crowd, holding his head high, every bit the master of the villa. The moment he saw me, his brow furrowed in displeasure, and he started cursing at me. I smiled faintly. We were invited by young Master Chi. As soon as I finished speaking, countless foreign businessmen who had been following us surged forward. Young Master Chi, finally we meet. The project we discussed earlier, when can we sign the contract? The crowd swarmed forward, their broken Chinese leaving Chi Bowen utterly confused. He frowned deeply, a look of disgust on his face. Where did you beggars come from? How dare you disrupt the banquet my wife is throwing for me? I won't let you get away with this. The foreign businessmen immediately became anxious. Young Master Chi, you invited us. That's right, this invitation even has your personal seal on it. Someone held up the electronic invitation on their phone and passed it around. It did indeed have the Chi family seal, undeniable. Perhaps I was a bit distracted taking care of my wife and sent it by mistake. Chi Bowen panicked, feigning composure. You can all leave now. He then called for people to drive the foreign businessmen away. Those foreign businessmen had tempers, and they exploded instantly. You, young Master Chi, invited us, and now you're going back on your word? You must give us an explanation. Low character, no integrity. Are you deliberately making fools of us? This won't be the end of it. Expect a complaint from the Foreign Enterprise Union. The crowd roared, so angry that they even started using their native Spanish. Chi Bowen, however, remained unmoved, not even bothering to put on a facade of courtesy, his nostrils turned up in disdain. Unable to watch any longer, I stepped forward with a wine glass. Stop pretending. You're not the eldest young master of the Chi family at all, are you? At my words, all eyes in the hall turned to me, and a buzz of discussion arose. Ridiculous. Of course, I'm the eldest young master of the Chi family. Chi Bowen glared at me haughtily. Who do you think you are, daring to question my identity? I chuckled softly. As far as I know, the eldest young master of the Chi family received a higher education from a young age and is proficient in 6 languages, Spanish being one of them. But just now, those foreign businessmen were furious and wanted to cancel their contracts with the Chi Group, yet you ignored them, making no effort to protect the Chi Group's interests and reputation. How could the real eldest young master of the Chi family not handle such a small matter? Or could it be, you're not young Master Chi at all? The guests were in an uproar, all eyes on Chi Bowen, filled with suspicion and scrutiny. Chi Bowen stiffened, but he continued to argue. They're just small fry clinging to the Chi family. Why should I bother with them? Besides, I'm about to become a father. I'm so excited that I didn't hear clearly. It's normal. Ning Bowen raised his head pretentiously, full of arrogance. But I didn't want to let this man, who had impersonated my identity, off the hook so easily. In that case, would young Master Chi please explain the situation to the foreign businessmen in Spanish, in front of everyone? It shouldn't be difficult, right? What do you think you are, daring to question this young master? Men, throw him out. Ning Bowen, furious and defensive, grabbed a wine glass and hurled it at me. I dodged it with a slight sidestep, but he, having used too much force, ended up splashing himself with the wine due to the inertia. In an instant, he was a mess, his hair plastered to his scalp, his expensive, custom-made silk suit utterly ruined. Very well, another crime to add to the list. My anger spiked, and I was about to expose Ning Bowen's false identity. Who dares to cause trouble here and bully my husband? Lu Yuqian, who had appeared at the banquet at some point, rushed forward and shielded Ning Bowen behind her. The originally furious Ning Bowen immediately melted into Lu Yuqian's arms, whimpering, "Wife, this man bullied me and even questioned my identity. I feel so unwell now. They say father and son are connected. I'm so afraid it will affect the baby in your belly." Lu Yuqian was instantly enraged, pointing a finger at my nose and shouting, "Who do you think you are? Daring to oppose my husband? Are you tired of living?" Although Lu Yuqian concealed it well, her gaze was cold and indifferent. Yet, I caught a fleeting moment of panic in her eyes. Before seeing Lu Yuqian, I had fantasized, wondering if something had happened, causing Lu Yuqian to lose her memory and forget me, leading her to marry someone else. After all, we had grown up together since childhood, and she had just proposed to me 6 months ago. But now, seeing the flicker of guilt in her eyes, I was completely clear. There was no melodramatic story of amnesia or mistaken identity. Lu Yuqian was simply a heartless woman who had fallen out of love. But I still didn't understand. Why would she marry a fraud full of lies? Lu Yuqian knew very well that I was the real young master of the chief family. I took a deep breath and looked at her calmly. "Lu Yuqian, I never thought that in just 6 months, you would become so blind that you can't tell the truth from the false. It seems that there is indeed no need for our two families to continue the marriage alliance." In recent years, the Lu family had been declining. It was because I, considering my long-standing relationship with Lu Yuqian, constantly supported them, giving countless coveted projects to the Lu family that they managed to squeeze into the upper class. Lu Yuqian sneered disdainfully. "Cancel the marriage alliance? Where did this lunatic come from, talking nonsense? I've long been married to the young master of the chief family, and our child is about to be born. Who do you think you are?" I frowned deeply. "Lu Yuqian, what on earth are you enough?" "Shut up." Lu Yuqian's face darkened. She roared, her eyes filled with rage. "I grew up with the young master of the chief family. How could I not recognize my own husband? I'll make it clear, anyone who dares to point fingers at Bowen is going against my Lu family, and they will bear the consequences." With these words, those foreign businessmen, fearing they might offend the Lu family, could only reluctantly shut their mouths. Seeing everyone submit to her authority, Lu Yuqian was very satisfied. But Lu Bowen set his sights on me at this moment. He leaned on Lu Yuqian's shoulder and pouted, "Wife, this lunatic wants to harm me. You must help me and the baby get revenge." Lu Yuqian kissed him fiercely. "My husband has spoken. How dare I disobey?" The two of them hugged each other nauseatingly. The onlookers exploded. Looking at it this way, the young master of the chief family is really pitiful to be entangled by such a lunatic. That man is out of his mind. How could a big shot like President Lu mistake her own husband? He's probably had too many filthy, Weishua dreams, and has become jealous and lost his mind. Those mocking and scornful gazes pierced me like sharp arrows. I clenched my fists, almost laughing from anger. Before me, Lu Yuqian gave a disdainful and impatient order. "Throw these people out, do it." With that command, the security guards rolled up their sleeves and approached me. Xiao Zhao stepped forward to protect me, but was quickly pulled away by those burly men, and I was soon caught, forced to the ground in humiliation. "Lu Yuqian, are you crazy?" I struggled, not expecting Lu Yuqian to actually lay hands on me. "Open your damn eyes and see who I am. You condone that imposter stealing my identity and even attack me. When my father finds out, he will definitely not let you off." I regretted it. The moment Lu Yuqian appeared, I should have rushed forward and slapped those lying scoundrels. Instead of being restrained now, like a fish on a chopping board, unable to move. The response I received was Chi Bowen's disdainful laughter. "So you're after my husband, trying to be a pretty boy." He glanced reproachfully at Lu Yuqian, who flirtatiously swore her loyalty. "Husband, you're the only one in my heart." As soon as her voice fell, a hint of ruthlessness flashed in Lu Yuqian's eyes, and she viciously slapped me across the face. "I don't know this lunatic at all. The only person I've ever loved in my life is Bowen. Get lost, I don't want you. But I am the young master of the chief family." I shouted hoarsely. Lu Yuqian sneered, kicking me several times in the chest. I tried to dodge, but the security guards held me down firmly, forcing me to endure the pain, my forehead drenched in cold sweat. I endured the pain throughout my body. You dare to treat me like this when my father returns. He will never let you get away with this. Lu Yuqian threatened coldly. You'll have to see if you can even get out of this banquet hall alive. Men, teach this impostor a lesson. With that command, the burly security guards raised their electric batons, their eyes cold as they charged up and swung at me. I closed my eyes in despair. Suddenly, a rough roar came from outside the door. Let go of my son. Before I could react, a series of pained screams pierced the air. When I slowly opened my eyes, I was met with a pair of tiger-like eyes, filled with concern, yet exuding authority. Son, are you all right? With Dad here, no one will dare bully you. The taut string in my mind instantly slackened. I gasped for breath, tears of terror streaming down my face uncontrollably. Dad, leaning on my father's support, I struggled to sit up. A sliver of relief washed over my heart, a sense of having narrowly escaped a terrible fate. If Dad hadn't arrived in time, I couldn't even imagine what kind of brutality I would have suffered. All of this was the doing of that heartless woman, Lu Yuqian, and that imposter, Chi Bowen. When he saw the clear marks on my face, Dad was completely enraged. He turned around, and his large, fan-like hand slapped Lu Yuqian across the face. You dare lay a hand on my son? Are you tired of living? Dad's sudden move caught everyone off guard, and Lu Yuqian had no time to dodge. Her cheeks instantly swelled up, red and high. But intimidated by my father's imposing presence, she didn't dare voice her anger, and in the blink of an eye, she received several more slaps. The deathly silent banquet hall was filled only with the crisp, loud sound of slapping. Everyone was stunned. Heavens, what on earth is going on? Wasn't old Mr. Chi recuperating abroad? Why did he suddenly return and so viciously slap his own daughter-in-law, showing no mercy at all? If I heard correctly, did old Mr. Ning just call that beaten man his son? That's what I heard too. So, did she mistake her husband, or did she mistake her son? My head hurts. It feels like I'm about to grow a brain. I had only recently taken over the Chi group, and having studied abroad for a long time, I rarely appeared at these kinds of events. My communication with the company's internal staff was usually done through email. Therefore, most people were unaware of what the eldest young Master Chi looked like, which allowed that imposter to take advantage of the situation. But my father was different. He was the one who single-handedly built the current Chi group, and everyone present recognized him. In an instant, all those questioning gazes fell upon Chi Bowen. After settling me on the sofa, my father rolled up his sleeves again, not even lifting his eyelids. Today, unless things are made clear, no one is leaving this place. My father's aura of menace terrified Lu Yuqian, turning her face pale and leaving her speechless. But Chi Bowen was different. He first shivered, then his eyes welled up with tears, and he looked at my father with a pitiful expression. Dad, it's me. I'm your son, Bowen. His overly dramatic, bubbly voice made my 50-year-old father shiver and rub the goosebumps that had risen on his arms. He frowned, and in a gruff voice said, Don't use that disgusting tone to claim kinship. I don't even know you. I'll hit a woman, and I won't spare a man either. Anyone who bullies my son won't leave this place unscathed. Unexpectedly, Ning Bowen became even more dramatic. His eyes reddened, and he began to sob softly. Dad, how could you treat me like this? I'm really your son. Bullshit, my son is Xiao Yi. No, he's not your son. I had his DNA tested, and he has no blood relation to you. But Bowen, he's the son you and I share. A soft, gentle female voice suddenly rose from the crowd. Guodong, I'm back. Following her gaze, I saw a middle-aged woman in a long white dress. Her eyes were also red-rimmed, and she gazed at my father with deep affection. Her features bore a striking resemblance to Chi Bowen's. I froze, instinctively turning to my father, who looked equally bewildered. You? Who are you? Dad. How could you forget Mom? My mom is Qian Xiaomei, your first love, the moonlight in your heart. Who? My father's brow furrowed, and he coldly uttered 3 words. Don't know her. It's been so long, Guodong. It's okay if you don't remember me. Qian Xiaomei's gaze remained fixed on my father, full of tenderness. But Bowen is different. He's your own flesh and blood. He needs to be acknowledged. As Xiaomei spoke, everyone present was forced to listen to a melodramatic story. She said that she and my father were college classmates and each other's first love. At a party, they both got drunk and had a one-night stand. She woke up first, feeling conservative and scared, unsure how to face the situation, so she ran away. Unexpectedly, she became pregnant and gave birth to Chi Bowen, raising him alone with great difficulty. So, I really have a younger brother. I was dumbfounded, counting on my fingers. If this was true, given Chi Bowen's age, he would actually be my younger brother. A mix of emotions surged through me. The next moment, a large hand gently patted my back, a gesture of comfort. Don't overthink it. You're my only son. No, Guodong, your only real son is Bowen. Qian Xiaomei pursed her lips, her voice firm. I've done my research. You're type O, but that Qi Yi is type AB. There's no way you two are related. Boom! My eyes widened in shock. I stood frozen, the blood in my veins seemingly turning to ice. My heart raced, and I struggled to breathe. Fragments of the past, things I had previously ignored, flooded my mind. I had never seen my mother growing up. My father said she had died young, but there were no photos of her in our house. I didn't look like my father. He was rugged and tall, while I was slender, and people often joked that we didn't resemble each other. And then there was the blood type issue. I was indeed type AB, but I had never known my father's blood type. If he was really type O, there was no way he could have fathered a child with type AB blood. Could it be? Was I really not my father's biological child? The absurd thought, once it took root, made me involuntarily look at my father beside me. My body trembled uncontrollably. Chi is indeed not my child. My father's words sent me spiraling into an abyss. I saw the joy instantly bloom on Chi Bowen's face. He looked around, boasting triumphantly. So I was right. He's the fake, and I'm the real young master of the Chi family. Lu Yuqian, her cheeks still red and swollen, was also thrilled. She immediately threw herself into Ning Bowen's arms, all tenderness and affection. Honey, tell Dad the good news about our pregnancy. He'll be so happy. In a flash, everything became clear. No wonder Lu Yuqian had so quickly married and become pregnant in just half a year. She had probably discovered the truth long ago and colluded with Chi Bowen. Her eagerness to have a child was a calculated move to seize control of the entire Chi group. Such treachery. Suddenly, everyone's gaze on me shifted to one of pity and contempt. Chi Bowen, even more emboldened, swaggered towards me. Fake, get out of here. I'm the heir to the Chi group. You're the one who should get out. My father's face was stern, his gaze commanding and authoritative, instantly silencing everyone. Only Chi Bowen looked at him with a mixture of confusion and hurt. Dad, how can you be so harsh? I'm your only biological son. Don't give me that crap. Don't you dare try to claim any relation to me. My father didn't even bother to look up, delivering the most explosive news with the most casual tone. After I graduated from high school, I got a vasectomy. Both ends of the vas deferens were severed. I'm completely infertile. Me? Everyone else? The whole place exploded. In just 1 minute, my emotions took a wild roller coaster ride, soaring and plummeting. My face was a mask of disbelief. Oh my God, this secret is way too explosive. The entire hall was in an uproar, yet my old man remained as steady as a mountain. I have no interest in marriage and having children, so I got a vasectomy early on. Is there a problem? A problem. There's a huge problem within. No, Guodong, you must be deliberately lying to deny Bowen's parentage, right? Qian Xiaomei shook her head in disbelief, wiping away tears as she pleaded. Guodong, how can you be so heartless? Bowen is truly your biological son. Over the years, we, as a widowed mother and orphaned son, have suffered a lot. It has been so hard to finally see the light and live a good life to reunite our family of 3. How can you abandon your wife and son for an outsider? Chi Bowen even reddened his eyes in public. Dad, I really miss you so much. Why won't you acknowledge me? His tearful eyes were full of filial affection, making one couldn't help but feel pity for him. But my dad remained unmoved with a cold face. No matter how much you insist, this imposter cannot be my son. Since the vasectomy, I've gone for checkups every year. The results confirming my inability to reproduce have always been very reassuring. And you said I once slept with you after getting drunk? Let's not even get into whether a man has the capacity for arousal when drunk. If something really happened, how could I have absolutely no recollection of it? What a joke. Don't try to pin some wild child. You found God knows where on me. You just wait. We're not done with this. Finally, Dad completely lost his patience. He waved his hand, and the bodyguards he personally brought in stepped forward, swiftly and professionally escorting the entire group out. The farce was finally over, but the lingering doubts remained unresolved. That night, my father, clutching a bottle of wine, drunkenly confessed the whole truth to me. I was, indeed, not his biological son, but I was still family, connected by blood. To be precise, I was the son of his sister. My father should have been my uncle. Decades ago, my father took his younger sister, my mother, out to play. But on the way, they encountered human traffickers who abducted my mother. This became an unspoken pain in my father's heart. He deeply regretted letting go of his sister's hand to buy tonghalu across the street. Afterward, my father dedicated himself to his studies and worked tirelessly to make money, all in the hope of one day finding his sister and reuniting with her. Fortunately, through much effort, my father found his sister, but it was too late. After many twists and turns, my mother had lost her memory due to a high fever during the trafficking and was taken in by an orphanage. But life's hardships did not spare her. As a young woman, my mother met the love of her life, fell in love, and got married. But their sweet days together were short-lived. The man died in a car accident on his way to work and never returned. Devastated, she went into premature labor and gave birth to me, passing away not long after. When my father finally found her, all that remained was a tombstone. Heartbroken, my father adopted me and raised me as his own son. As for the vasectomy he mentioned, that of course is real. At the time, my mind was solely focused on making money and finding your mother. I had no thoughts of marriage or children, so I got a vasectomy, once and for all. My dad spoke of his brave act with such casual coolness. I was completely numb from listening. I never imagined that this gentle, fishing-obsessed old man in front of me had been so rebellious in his youth. As for that Fiancée, I barely know her. It seems like we hosted a gala together in college and went over the script a few times in private. Is that called dating? Ridiculous. Thinking of the events at the banquet, my father cursed. My lifelong reputation and innocence were almost ruined. No, I can't let them off so easily. With that, he stormed off to handle things. Before leaving, he specifically instructed me that from now on, I would be fully responsible for managing the Ning group. Son or nephew, it doesn't matter. In my eyes, you'll always be my child. My father patted my shoulder firmly with his large hand. Suddenly, he changed the subject. By the way, once you take over the company, you have to work hard. Dad is still waiting for you to support him. Me. The tears of emotion instantly receded. I waved goodbye to the highly capable old man and turned to contact my assistant, Xiao Zhao, to convene a company meeting. From today, spread the word in the industry. The Qi family will not cooperate with any company that has dealings with the Liu group. Liu Yuqian had caused me to lose so much face today. She also aided and abetted the abuse, publicly humiliating and attacking me. If I didn't retaliate, they would really think Qi Yi was a pushover. Assistant Xiao Zhao was very astute and patted his chest, assuring me, I guarantee I'll complete the task assigned by President Ning. Within 6 months, the Liu family will fall and crash. After yet another resource project was snatched away, Liu Yuqian finally couldn't hold on any longer. One afternoon, she cornered me in the parking lot. I was wrong. As soon as we met, Liu Yuqian apologized without a second word. It was my fault. I was foolish and stupid, easily falling for someone else's trap and being deceived into making a big mistake. I know you must hate me right now, but we grew up together as childhood sweethearts with over 20 years of affection. Please, give me a chance to turn over a new leaf. I, Liu Yuqian, swear to the heavens that from now on, I will wholeheartedly love Qi Yi and never let him suffer any grievances. Otherwise, May I be struck by 5 thunderbolts and descend into the 18 levels of hell. Yeah, let's start over, okay? She raised her eyes, gazing at me with a face full of affection. Her words of repentance sounded sincere, but all I felt was ridicule. What about Chi Bowen? He's the father of the child in your belly. I was truly blind in the past. I couldn't even see through such a scumbag woman. But Lu Yuqian seemed to have misunderstood something. I saw a flash of joy on her face, and then she righteously declared, "It's all Chi Bowen's fault, that scumbag. He deceived me, Yi. I'm a victim too. Don't worry, I've already gotten rid of that illegitimate child in my belly. It won't affect our future." Lu Yuqian, you're really so innocent. I sneered repeatedly. So you're saying that Chi Bowen forced himself on you and made you pregnant? All right, I'll be a good Samaritan and help you report it to the police. How about that? Lu Yuqian panicked instantly, but I was too lazy to listen to her excuses. The company security guards, who had arrived just in time, were already poised for action. In a few swift moves, they threw Lu Yuqian, who had sneaked into the company, out. Disgusted by this, I turned my head and accelerated the bankruptcy plan of the Lu Corporation. 2 months later, I saw in my social circle a secretly taken photo of Lu Yuqian, looking impoverished and wretched. Chi Bowen wasn't doing well either. After the bankruptcy, Lu Yuqian completely turned on Chi Bowen, believing that he was the one who had caused her predicament. The once loving couple became bitter enemies. In a fit of rage, Lu Yuqian attacked Chi Bowen with a knife, causing him to bleed profusely from the lower half of his body and permanently lose his ability to reproduce. This drove Chi Bowen completely insane. He immediately reported Lu Yuqian for economic crimes, presenting a stack of evidence that sent her to prison. As for my father, he wasn't idle either. He had Qin Xiaomei investigated and discovered that she had worked as a cleaner at the hospital where I had my physical examination. She had stolen my blood sample, which is why she was so confident in claiming that I was not my father's biological child. Without a second word, my father sent her to jail. Meanwhile, I seized a market share that once belonged to the Lu Corporation, making money like crazy. In just half a month, my net profit exceeded 9 figures. Looking at the constantly increasing numbers in my account, I narrowed my eyes in bliss. The taste of wealth is truly wonderful.